Welcome to the Startup Tales, where we bring inspiring stories from the world of entrepreneurship. Today, I'm your host Rohan. Today, we have a 24-year-old and dynamic entrepreneur who has started her own venture called Sweet Tooth Creations. I welcome Rajni on our platform. Hi, welcome Rajni.
Hi.
Hi. So, I want you to give a short introduction about you to our audience.
So I'm Rajni Bhargava and I own Sweet Tooth Creations. I'm the founder of Sweet Tooth Creations. Sweet Tooth Creations is basically a brand which sells all desserts and everything cake based, all kind of cakes, all kind of cupcakes, all kind of pastries like cheesecakes and all of that. And the brand name came into existence because it's sweet tooth. Someone reminds them of a dessert and then they'll be like, oh, I have a sweet tooth, something like that.
Nice.
And then I'm the creator of the Sweet Tooth, so I'm Sweet Tooth Creations. My brand is Sweet Tooth Creations.
Nice.
Yes.
So, how long you are into this business?
It's been 4 years now.
Okay.
I started in 2020 and I was a home baker. It's been 4 years since I'm a home baker and now I started out.
So you started in 2020, like you were 20 years old when you started.
Yeah, I
Okay,
was
at 20 years old, we at my age, I was like, which college I had to get in for exams, internals, and those things. So what you have pursued?
I have pursued BCom Travel and Tourism. I initially started my baking when I was during Travel and Tourism itself, like the BCom Travel and Tourism itself. But in that time, it was just a hobby. I was just doing it for namesake. And then whoever asks, I used to just give them discounted price, no margin.
No margins.
And then later on, I just started picking it up. I actually was into Travel and Tourism as well. And then I left it and
You worked in?
I worked in a travel and tourism company.
Okay. How long you worked?
I worked for 7 months, 7-8 months.
Okay. Managing work and baking this.
Yeah. It was very hectic actually. I never used to take any orders until then. When I joined job, I completely stopped taking orders. Only if they were my colleagues and it was a very special birthday or something, I would just take the orders. And that too, I usually used to come back home at 1 o'clock. And then sleep for a while, get up at 8 o'clock, bake stuff, and then get it to the friends or whoever the colleagues were. And my office timings were from 12 o'clock used to be my cab.
Okay.
So it was from 1 to around 10, 11-ish.
Okay.
So until then, I used to work.
Okay. How you used to receive the orders from WhatsApp?
It's usually WhatsApp, yeah.
To the WhatsApp from the friend
Instagram.
circles.
Friend circles.
Families.
Started initially with friend circles, word of mouth, and then it just kept growing.
Okay.
Now it's usually all.
So
friends.
I've heard like when you get into a job, it's really hard to quit and follow your passion. Is baking your passion?
Baking is my passion.
Okay.
I can't deny that at all.
Okay, so you have made your passion into a business.
Yes.
Okay, so what made you quit your job and start this? What was your mindset back then, quitting this job?
I didn't actually have plans to quit my job. I mean, that was the most favorable thing for me because I studied travel and tourism. So going into a travel and tourism company was a great thing back then because of COVID and everything. So I joined with my whole heart. It was my job that I wanted to do. But then the reality hit different and it was so bad. I mean, the company was okay. I mean, it was an MNC and it wasn't that great also. And I was into not that great of a job role. And I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. And it was not something which was into what, I initially thought I would be a guide or a tour guide or something like that, which I would suggest the customers to take this kind of a place or go to this kind of a hotel, so and so.
Other destinations.
But yeah. Okay. That wasn't the case.
Okay. So how did your parents react when you told that you're quitting this and you're following your passion?
They were very supportive of it. They were like, okay, yeah, go for it.
Go for it. That's good.
Yeah. They knew that I didn't like my job as much. They knew how I was suffering in that job. In that
suffering
time
in the
zone.
Sense you said you love tour and travelism.
I love travel. The hectic schedule I didn't like. See, I used to get up at 8 o'clock, say, get ready and all of that. If I had to bake, then I used to get up at 8 o'clock. Otherwise, I used to just get up at 10 o'clock. It was almost like I didn't have a life because I used to get up at 10, just get freshened up, eat something and leave by 10:30, 11:30. And the cab was at 12. It used to be like 4 kilometers away from my place. He never used to come at home and pick me up and everything. So the cab used to come there. I used to go at 12, reach the office by 1 o'clock, start the job at 1, and then get done by 11 o'clock. It was never 11 o'clock. They say it's 11 o'clock, it's never 11 o'clock. And it's like 12:30 or 1 or whatever. I used to come back home. So I didn't have a life. I mean, the offs were also not on Saturday, Sunday. It was just a rotational off, which was on either Monday, Thursday, whenever they wanted to give it. So I didn't really like it.
So, how's Sweet Tooth Creations going on? What are your plans?
Sweet Tooth Creations as of now is going great. It's one of the best decisions I've ever taken until now in my life. And I want to grow it. It's a small expansion, like it's baby steps as of now, not thinking of anything huge. Just some stalls here and there in Church Street or Jayanagar or wherever it is I can. And then later I'm thinking of doing something little big. For people it's like, oh my god, it's so small, but for me it's like, oh, that's something that I want to do, something huge.
So you're into baking, right? What is your USP? What makes you out of the box?
USP is basically, see, you usually see brownies of 80 grams or 100 grams or whatever that they sell it in patisseries or bakeries or wherever you go. And even cheesecakes, they're like huge pieces that you can't maybe finish it in one go. You have to have two people to finish it. So when you come to a food truck of mine, or when you come to even my bakery, or when you order something, you can order all of them in small bite-sized pieces. And I don't make them too sweet. So they can take one or two, another bite or two for extra pieces or something like that. And the brownie size are also very small. You can eat two of them, something like that. So you can have more of it or have a variety of it, like say one small cheesecake, one small brownie, and one cupcake. So you can have a variety of it, taste everything, see how it goes, and then decide if you want more.
Okay. So what's the price range?
The price
Yeah,
range is very affordable.
Okay.
People don't usually believe when I tell that it's affordable. They'll be like, how is this affordable? It's only from 30 to 99 rupees. Usually people sell it for 150. If you go to Bell Street, if you go anywhere patisserie, for a fact, you get it for 150 plus or 99 plus. And mine is in between the range of 99. That's
Okay,
also a USP.
That's cool. That's cool. You're kept below 99.
Below 99, yes.
Yeah. So how many SKUs currently you have?
The products are 5 to 7. As of now, at least it's 5 to 7.
I can name them like.
There's one brownie, there's cheesecakes, there's cookies, there's
Okay.
cupcakes.
Okay.
There's variety of in them as well. But the only main parts are all of these things. And there's something called as babka, there's focaccia. So those are the bread types of it. There's cinnamon roll.
Okay. So who helps you in baking all this?
I am the owner of it, so
Okay.
I only have to bake
Okay.
usually.
So you're the
But
only
for a
one
helper-
person who bakes, who sells, who
Yes.
looks after everything,
Yes,
operations, everything.
everything operations.
So guys, it's a one
One woman
woman
company.
Yeah.
My mom helps me. Usually my mom helps me. She makes basic things like kneading the bread or doing something very minimal, like say measurements and all of those. She'll keep it ready. So I just have to make it. Other than that, all the major parts of the baking, I only do it.
You only do them.
No one else
So
helps you.
I think a lot of time goes, a lot of efforts
Oh.
goes into baking.
Yeah.
So what's your day schedule?
My day schedule is actually more hectic than
Okay.
just the fact that I love it.
Love
so
it, you're
it's just different.
Okay.
So my day starts from 8 o'clock. I get up at 8 o'clock, freshen up and do everything, and start baking at 9. I get things ready by 10. When I start baking, in the sense, it's by 10 basically. So when I start by 10, I start finishing up the small works first, like making brownie or setting up the dough, so that the dough needs time to rest. So that needs 1.5 hours to 2 hours. So that goes in the starting 1 hour or 2 hours of time. And then later on, I make cupcakes. And then once it cools down, I have to make cream. So in between of that time, I make something else which I have a menu of. So my menu is not for everyday menu. The menu keeps changing throughout the week.
Okay.
So there's like 4 things in a day for one day,
Mm.
and then the next it's not the same.
Okay.
1 or 2 things will be the same. Like the brownies are constant, and there's babka, which is not really constant.
Okay.
So it differs.
It differs.
Yeah.
It
So the
differs.
cookies and the brownies are very constant.
Very
They
constant.
always stay.
So currently you run a food truck, right?
Yes.
Recently you launched your food truck.
It's been a week since
Just
I
can you tell about your food truck?
What do you want to know about the food truck?
So what made you choose food truck? Because there's easy option where you can have outlet, you can store everything. So the food truck you have to drive from one location to one other location. So who helps you in driving?
I drive.
Okay, you drive your own food
Yes.
truck. Very nice.
I'm all in one, I told you.
Okay, so not dependent on anyone.
Not dependent on anyone.
That's great. That's great. That's great.
I didn't want to take a shop because it's just constant one shop that people will have to know that, okay, this is located in this location only, and I can't take it from anywhere else and everything.
So you wanna reach all the locations on your
Definitely,
own. Okay,
yes.
That's great. That's great. So currently, where your food truck is located?
Now it's in Sakar Nagar. I want people to know that I live in Sakar Nagar, so that's why I'm keeping the food truck in Sakar Nagar for now. Later on, I may expand or go somewhere else to different locations. And I didn't want to take a shop because the rent is high, the renovation is high, everything is high in that. Instead, I could just do a one-time investment on a food truck and it's forever there, right? I don't have to demolish it. I don't have to do anything to it. So that's one of the reasons that I chose the food truck.
So when it comes to running a business, there includes a capital. So how you manage your initial capital? How it was?
My initial capital, I used to work in a company. So in that company, I only worked for like 7-8 months, I told, right? So in those 7 and 8 months, I saved up some amount to just get the initial baking utensils or say the oven basically. The oven was almost around 60,000.
So how much you saved in your?
I saved around 1.5, up to 1 lakh.
That's
up.
Great. Then.
Yeah.
So it means you didn't spend much on the parties and the weekends.
No, I didn't do that. I didn't have a life. How would I go party?
Okay. Someone asked this. Being a 24-year-old girl, right? So you have a friend circle. So where the friends are not from same mindset what you possess. So they like come Rajni, we'll chill out. So how do you deal with this?
Oh, my friends weren't actually like that.
Okay.
They wanted to party as well. It was not like, okay, we're just going to do business or studies. It was not like that. Okay. They also wanted to party, but then I could find some time here and there, then I could go. If not, they were also very supportive of all of these things. They used to be like, your business is more important to you. You used to do this first and then get your stuff up first, like stand on your own feet, do all of these things, and then we'll think about a party or not.
That's good. You got a supporting friends. Yeah. So it means it's all about managing time. It's not that I don't have time, I'm busy. No, right?
No one is busy actually. You just have to manage your time well.
Okay. So coming back to the business perspective. So currently you run on your own. So when it comes to expanding a business solely, you can't expand at a level you can expand. What are your future plans to expand it big?
For now, for another 3 months though, I want to just let it be for like now, because I want people to know what Sweet Tooth Creations is, how unique my food truck is. I don't find usually anywhere food trucks that has bakery stuff in it or has any desserts in it. Gulab jamun and all is very common. So all of these things I haven't seen. So now I just want to keep it simple and want people to know that something like this exists. And then after 3 months, I want to expand for, like I told you, right, that I want to keep it in Food Street, like any of these Church Street or let it be Jayanagar or anywhere. So stalls like that. Wherever I get an opportunity to get in flea markets and all of those places, I want to keep it there. I want to employ someone and keep that there. So that is the brand marketing.
Yeah. So you are serving B2C. It's business to customers. So any plans into B2B or you are serving?
Yeah, I do serve it for B2B as well.
Okay.
I serve it to caterers and I serve it to cafes, 1 or 2 cafes. The caterers are very common. They usually order from me. They supply to, they are caterers, so they have high-end customers of all these weddings or party planners, those kind of organizers. So I give it to them usually. They're all cakes, cheesecakes. There's something called as tender coconut pudding. So all of those kind of things, other than baking as well.
So you bake all 7 days or how it is?
No, I bake 5 days a week. I keep the food truck 5 days a week. I bake almost 6 days a week. I take one day off myself, and then the next day I resume baking, and then keep the other stuff ready so that I can bake it on the fifth day.
So this is your week goes into.
My week goes.
So almost 90% goes into baking, and
Yeah.
the rest 10% is your.
Yeah,
Okay,
10%. I don't know what.
Okay. So apart from this, what are your hobbies?
I
What
ride
you
a
love
bike. I love riding bikes.
Bike.
I love going to solo trips. That's my favorite thing to do. I also paint. I just normal painting. It's nothing great, but yeah, I also paint. That's it, I guess. Those are my hobbies.
So any customer feedback or the experience you encountered?
Some kind of funny experiences.
Like
Like how I told I supplied to caterers, right? So I got into that. I didn't want to actually go to caterers and supply everything and all of those things. It was just an event that we just went to out of nowhere. That to some random friend of ours just called us, and then they were like, okay, come to this event, we're hosting this and so, some function it was. And we went there, and there the caterer people were there. We were not really interested into asking them or pitching out my idea or anything like that. My dad just went and boasted about me, saying that, yeah, she bakes, she does this, she does that.
Okay.
And that person got impressed, and he was like, oh, we need it actually. And
That's okay.
they were like, okay, yeah, we need so many. And at that point of time, I didn't really have a huge oven. The reason that I got that huge oven, the commercial oven, was because of him. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have got the oven. Yeah. I wouldn't have imagined how to do so many things, only because he gave a bulk order that day and he wanted like 50-60 cupcakes. And I was like, how the heck am I going to do so many cupcakes in a small oven?
Okay.
That's when I bought this.
You bought them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the customer reviews and customer feedbacks are great. They usually give criticisms, and they give how to do better and what to do, what not to do, and all of those. I just take them politely. I'm like positive about it too. I don't take them to my heart either. I just want to do what I want to do. So many people have told me to do, say, coffee machines and all of that. And I'm like, who's going to do a coffee machine now? You really think I have space in my food truck? So those kind of feedbacks are common. But then otherwise, they like the food, they like the food basically. They like the desserts. They like the brownies the most.
So I forgot a quick question to ask you. So you learned from an academy or you are self-taught?
I'm self-taught. I'm completely self-taught. As it was a passion, right? It was just a hobby. So I started off using YouTube as my source and all of those things. And I've actually attended a few master classes, but then they weren't like huge master classes. They were paid, but then they were like 4 days, 3 days, or 1 day, or something like that. All those mini master classes I've attended. And because of that, I've learned a lot of tips. I've learned a lot of, say, something nice to do, or eggless cupcakes, something like that I've learned because of those master classes. I learned nice tips from them.
So I want to know, as you said, you're planning to expand. So see, if someone who is at your age 24 and someone want to start something, so what are the things they have to look after? So you have anything to share to them who want to start something of their own, not in the same baking space, in other space, who want to start their own business?
So for other business, I don't know much about it.
Okay.
Because I am a startup.
I want to know, like, share the basic principles, what it takes to start a business.
So you just have to have confidence. That's the major thing that people lack the most. I mean, they don't have that confidence. They would have had 100 of ideas. They would have thought about so many things now, that I want to do this startup, that startup, I want to grow microgreens, or whatever it is. I want to grow some kesar, something. They would have had so many ideas, but then they wouldn't have either the capital or the confidence to do it. They would have just been like, okay, now if I get into it, invest so much of capital in it, and then if I don't get anything in return, what's it going to be? So they think a lot about future. I mean, live in the moment, have some confidence, do it, and then think about it, right? It's all baby steps.
Yeah, like I agree, because idea comes in a raw format.
Exactly.
When we focus, work on it, we spend our time, it gets good.
It gets refined a lot after that. Yeah.
Then it comes to a stage where we can convert into the business.
Exactly.
So I want to know, have you ever thought of, I should not be asking this question, but have you ever thought of any plan B? What if this fails?
No, actually, I haven't really thought about a plan B. I have, but I'm actually into psychology as well. I've done my psychology courses in HEA Singapore, but that is my plan B. If this
Okay.
doesn't work out and I'm going to psychology
Psychology.
completely,
You're a consult.
yes, I'm a consultant.
Okay.
So I haven't practiced anything yet,
Anything.
but I've studied about it. And
So
everything.
try out your thing. You wanna go all in and
Yeah, I'm completely
all
all in. There's
in.
no going back.
Going back.
I can't go back.
True. When it comes to starting a business, running something, you should always go all in.
Completely
So
all in.
the results are on the other side.
Mhm.
Okay, that's great. That's great.
Like you have to have that something in your head that okay, this is going to work. There's no other plan B in your head. There should be a plan B, but then it should be like very minimal. If you're going for it, then go for it. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, then obviously you'll think of something else, right? See, the money is the only thing that is running in your head. You want to start up something because of the money that you're looking for. If you want a job, you are already in a job and then that is not serving you enough or you're not getting the needs out of it so much, then you're obviously thinking of a startup or you're thinking of something that you want to do by yourself so that you would want to be your own boss. So when you do that, then you can't go back and be like, no, I'm not doing this anymore.
That's great. And the other thing is, if you fail, you're not starting fresh. You're starting with experience.
Yeah, you're starting with
Right,
experience.
with
You're starting with a lot of
Of
experience. You know how people would react to something of your product. You know all of those things. So you're not starting fresh and your brain would automatically just think, now I have to do something. You have no other go.
Okay.
It's like that.
Yeah. See, to become success, it's not like all your ideas has to win.
Work, yeah.
Right. So there should be only one idea which works and
Yeah,
you win.
yeah.
Right?
There's a lot of
True.
trial and errors for that.
True.
For me, it took 2 years to build all of this. Initially, I thought I'll build a store or a cafe. But then I didn't do that. It took 2 years for me to build
Figure
this
out
much.
this.
Yeah, figure out all of these and come up here.
Okay, true. What's so unique about your food truck?
My food truck is completely electric and it doesn't generate any carbon footprint. So that's great. That's the major thing that I wanted to focus on getting a food truck. I actually wanted to take a second-hand food truck and then build on it and everything, but I didn't because I wanted to start it off with completely zero waste. And I also use plates which are zero waste, like it's biodegradable. It's made from sugarcane waste. So those kind of plates I use. And the spoons are also wooden spoons. I don't use any plastic spoons.
Oh, that's great.
So that's something unique about my food truck.
Okay. Yeah, and where we can order?
People usually order it from WhatsApp or it's from Instagram. Leads are from Instagram.
So your Instagram handle is
Sweet Tooth Creations. _ Sweet Tooth Creations.
Okay.
So they usually order it from Instagram. Word, mouth to mouth, word to word, whatever, and they come up to Instagram finally. WhatsApp is usually for either family or someone suggests from the families, they'll come up to.
So what is the lead time you take to deliver?
I usually take 24 hours if it's like a 1 kg cake or a half kg cake or anything like that. For cheesecakes, brownies or whatever that is required in the food truck, then it is already there. So when someone orders a takeaway or someone orders from anywhere for a parcel or dunzo, then it's usually max 15 minutes just packing and then giving it to them. It depends on what area they live in, right? So it almost takes an hour.
Okay, that's great. So yeah, we are concluding this. It was great knowing you about about psychology, about your business venture, about you ride, you're a rider.
Yes.
So it was great knowing you. Thank you for coming up. Thank you guys.